What's up, bottom feeders? It's me, your overlord. I'm back. Except this, right now, this will not be my form for much longer. Well, I mean, it could take a while, I don't know. But the point is that. Where's my folder with my files in it? One second. Just wait right there. I'll get back to you in a moment. Where's the... No, that's the wrong one. There you are. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, I remember. Okay, so... Why is nothing happening? There we go. So, this model right here, this was my first time in Live2D Cubism. I made it on the free trial or whatever, the one that you get when that has all the features. So I don't think I have that anymore. Although who knows? This is a different computer. It might not recognize me. We'll see. But it would be nice if I could figure out physics and stuff before the trial expires, if just on the... You know what I mean? Okay, I'm opening it right now. It looks like... Yeah, I know all about the deal here. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. So, my model, this was my first time in Live2D, was working on this model. So, it's got a few, let's say, errors. A few things that I did when I didn't know better. So, we're going to fix some of those now, if we can. So, first and foremost, let's go into... Let's go into this. I'm missing some files, it looks like, from this version of the file. Are they in the... One moment. Here, let me just show you what I'm looking at. It's welcome to my desktop. And I guess we can put Pretzel back on. I'm gonna turn it down a bit though. That's still a little loud, at least for me. That's more like it. Now you guys can't hear it at all, can you? That's pretty good. We can work with this. Anyway, so like I was saying, are we open? We're open. They don't seem to be in here either. Well, at one point in time, I had a handful of files. Okay, so this version of the document is going to be useless to us at the moment. So it's this one that I'm going to have to fix things in, basically. But anyway, what I was saying is there was just some stuff that I didn't know better on, and so I rigged it bad. And so I'm hoping that, given the chance, I can come back and do it better this time. So first and foremost, some of my mistakes. I rigged these from my perspective looking at it, but realistically, this right here is my left eye, but I've labeled it the right eye. So we're going to come in here first off, and we're going to... Call this the LI. L outline. Oh, here they are. So they do exist. So they do exist. Basically, what I've made is eyelids. So the idea is that when we're working, we move these in so that they are, whoops, censored here. And then we shrink the eye around it, if that makes sense. So like the way I have this set to rig is my eyes are very ovular, but I shrink them to a circle and then they fit within these. I think I may have had to stretch it a little bit to make it look right, but yeah, that's basically the idea. So I had this all set up so that I could mask everything within the base of the eye here, and then have the outline on the outside of the eye so that it's preserved no matter what the eyes do. So like, I did this specifically for the blinking function, and as you guys can tell probably, my eyes currently do not blink. These eyes are not rigged to blink. And the reason for that is, technically they are rigged, but I turned it off in VTube Studio because I failed to consider something. On your average, like, human eye, the way that they set it up by default, the way that they teach you to do it in the tutorials, is technically correct. Your eye does not naturally start at its most, like, wide state. That's not how your eyes are when they're open. So if you have it, so, like, your eyes might be, what, 75% open, 60% open on a good day. If you are a really good VTuber performance artist, you might get really good at just having, like, wide eyes most of the time. But, for me, I'm not human. I'm not even slightly humanoid. I am a pile of sludge and tentacles. So, my eyes, I want them to be wide open and the eyelids not visible when I'm just, like, in my sort of resting state. But that doesn't really translate well to this. So, I've got an idea on how I can fix it, and if that doesn't work, then I can go in and I can do some fine-tuned stuff that will probably get me some better results. But in the meantime, let's see. So that's one LI. Let's go ahead and turn you into the RI now. We'll turn on the eyelids as well. So yeah, my hope is this time, I've got a few hopes actually. This model right now is not set up well for toggles. So I need to do a few things. I haven't really explained what I'm doing here. So everything that I did to the eyes, I'm now going to need to do to the body as well. We'll get to that in a minute, but I've just been messaged on Facebook. Oh, one of my friends is playing Hyrule Warriors and thought I should know, apparently. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, so this is actually the L tentacle. And this is the R tentacle. And then we're going to need to come in here and do the same thing with these. Man, this tentacle's got it rough. He's both L and mid. But anyway, so my hope is that I can kind of take this model and make it a little more ready for toggles. So I have no idea when or if I will ever get Twitch affiliate. Like, assuming that one day I get Twitch affiliate, I want to be able to activate the Twitch integrated throwing system and the Twitch high intensity color changer, colloquially known as tits and thick. And that way you all can throw stuff at me and also change my color scheme. But in order to do that, we're going to need to do a few things to the model here. So let's see, these are all fixed. I think everything's fixed. So this is now L tentacle. Let's see. L stuff is on. Yep. So this is actually, like, we're working on this with stage directions. I was working on this with like with my body's directions in real life. We need to be focusing stage directions. So this is stage right. This will be stage left. Imagine you are embodying the character. This is the right side if you're facing the same direction, right? So that's what you all will see. Now, I'm pretty sure actions are technically mirrored, but like... Anyway, so... in order to prepare this for toggles, I need to make it so that all of these things, right? I guess the tentacles are fine, probably. If not, we'll figure it out. We might have to come back in here in a few months and fix these up too, but in the meantime, the things I know are going to need fixed is the body. So basically what's going to happen here is I'm going to take all of these and unmask them. We're going to remask them inside of we're going to take all these sludge curves that we've got here, and we're going to remask them inside of the Live2D software. This is super bright. I think I saw someone used like a dark mode at one point. One moment. I'm going to Google that. How do you set Live2D to dark mode? File. Environment settings. Color theme, dark. Okay, that's fine. We can close the program. Anyway, so we have these things in place, but we're going to run into a problem. The way that these work is every single one of these layers is going to get imported as a JPEG, which means that these outlines aren't going to be preserved. And that's going to be a problem. So what's actually going to need to happen is I'm going to need to duplicate the body here. And on the duplicated one, we're going to need to come in, turn off all the effects, and get rid of the stroke. Then, or get rid of the fill. Then, on the one that has the fill, we need to turn off the stroke. And you can't tell anything has changed, but we now need to label these. Now no one will be able to tell the difference. But luckily, even though this is being generated in Affinity, which is basically the equivalent of Adobe Illustrator, all that I need to do in order to make this work in Live2D is export it as a PSD, and Live2D will immediately like rasterize, flatten layers. At least that's what it did last time. It worked just fine. Granted, last time I ran it through Affinity Photo first, so that's probably the safe thing to do this time as well. Like this... This is how the file is going to look before it gets, you know, done up right in Affinity Photo, so that we can export it. But okay, so basically, why we're doing this is you can see. These kind of just are free floating things, which is actually fine, because what's going to happen, we're going to have to put like a basic mesh deformer on all of these, I think, but we can create a once we've masked them inside of the main body, then we can kind of just work from there. These will... I'm hoping, at least, just move the same way that they do now. And if not exactly the same, then fairly similar. I'm not editing the whole thing. So this is the model. Without these, this is what everything looks like. And the reason that we're separating these is, like I said, eventually I hope to have Thick set up. I've already bought the software. I haven't had time to set it up. But even if I did, the options that I'd have for color changing would be incredibly limited, because the model is not set up correctly for toggling. And this will this work that I'm doing now, I'm hoping will eventually set us up to be able to create more toggles and whatnot later on, so we can have even more fun with everyone's favorite slime tentacle abomination who rules over the bottom feeders of Twitch. Anyway. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to do before we switch software. I don't think so. Let's open this up in Affinity Photo. There's not actually anything special we need to do in here. I don't think. We can turn our reference layer on and off, I guess. Technically, the reference layer needs to be on top. Also, we don't really need these anymore. I'm gonna make sure these are all locked as well. This one we'll need, though. So this is how we're supposed to look at the end. This is how we're gonna look going in. I know it's not pretty. And if you were wanting to do like a model who does more than just like tilt back and forth, have just like barely perceptible like left and right head tilt, etc., we might be able to get better. We might be able to get better than this, you know, all things, when we're in there. I'll try, at least. Let's see. Everything's on its layer, and don't worry, Live2D, if y'all are not familiar with Live2D, it will preserve our folder structure for us. I'm gonna need to join the Pretzel Discord, I think. 'Cause for some reason, it's not like... It's not showing me my... Like, the Pretzel's supposed to, like, be putting song names in chat, and it's not doing it for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, so I think this is all we need to do here. So now that we have it in this program, let's export not as a JPEG, as a PSD. Accuracy, yep, I'm going to go ahead and check rasterize all layers, just to be on the safe side. Preserve accuracy. This should be fine. Yes, I want to replace their version of Omammer PSD. That's the old Omammer.psd. We don't need him anymore. No, we don't need to save that change. Now, where are you? There he is. Let's go ahead and get to work. Yeah, I know, my trial license will expire and eventually. I forget, can I just drag this in? Yes. No, that's not what was coming up. I've tried Nijima. It's not as good as Live2D or VTube Studio. Alright, here he is. Here's the boys. This is me. Or it will be me. Did I ever say that the reason I made all these separate is so that, the reason I made all of these separate is so that we could, give each, like, each of these can now be given, like, their own color fill. So, like, I could have my body one color, and I could have each of these individually another color. Because we have this set up this way. So anyway, let's get to work. First and foremost, we need to... What is it? Clipping ID, is it... I think I just come in here and select the body fill, right? Yeah. And they're clipped. Nice. Now, I don't really care too much about level of detail with these, but we're going to need them to be a little more malleable than a rectangle would give us. So... This is the wrong thing. Where's the... Automatic mesh generator. Here we go. Let's give it a deformation one. Give it the little deformation. Don't I have music with words turned off? Probably not a good sign that it's ignoring my preferences. Whatever, I have a skip button. Anyway, yeah, so this right here is good. So there's one down, And then we can just kind of come through for all of these and do the exact same thing. Auto generate using deformation little. We don't need deformation heavy. That's insane. Look at that. We don't need all that. This will probably be fine. And if it's not, we can go back and fix it later because it's just automatically generating it anyway. Wait, is there one here? Oh, there is, but it's turned off. Interesting. I thought I deleted that one. Okay, whatever. We'll rig this one too, just because I don't remember it being there. I really thought this one was deleted. Whatever. We can go back and delete it later, probably. Or again, it's going to be hidden the whole time anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Just to demonstrate what's happening here. We have made a mesh deformer, basically. So it has plotted a static mesh just like you would for a 3D model that has been applied over the image, and that is basically just like how if I was putting this on a 3D model, this line of polygons right here that's been generated, that would be where this texture would display on my 3D model. So obviously this whole guy, not a 3D model. It's what we have here is called a 2D model, I guess. A Live2D model. Y'all get that. It's doing a pretty good job of identifying the points that it needs to point to. Again, I imagine this will be sufficient. If I end up being wrong, then, you know, egg on my face, right? But I think this will be fine. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So yeah, also, this body does have more to it than is typically shown. Ignore the fact that my Live2D thing is on screen. You see nothing. You did not see VTube Studio just now. That was all in your imagination. Alright, and then, let's see. These two need the same thing. And I can't remember what I gave them last time, but I think a standard is right. Actually, you know, there's no need to guess here. There's no need for mystery. Let's... Yeah, I'm one of those types who will just occasionally save stuff straight to the desktop. I'll file it away later. I've had several very intricate and detailed filing systems over the years, and I totally know where to put any of them. I totally remember how they all work. Anyway, so since we have this saved, I can go ahead and come back into here. Where's my old one? Do we need the CMO3 file? And this software is older than I thought. I thought this came out in like 2015. Yeah, I know. Alright, so here's the old body. What did I give you? That looks... Nope. Okay, so I gave it the heavy deformation. That's all I needed to know. Something's not right here. For some reason, these are clipping over the stroke. Wait a minute, that's not an issue in the... Where are we? I might need to come back into here real quick. Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay, I have a feeling. Yep, okay. I understand what happened. Okay. So, actually, I can go ahead and delete this one. We're going to restart from scratch. So what happened is, because the sludge appears on top of this actually needs to be in here. Appearing under the stroke. Because what I think happened, and maybe hitting the rasterize layer button, not a good idea, but what I think happened is that when I hit rasterize layer, it deleted anything that wasn't visible, so my eyes were probably going to be all messed up too. So we're going to not do that this time. Let's save, edit in Affinity Photo. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask. We can all pretend I know what I'm doing together. Let's try this again. I'm going to go ahead and turn off rasterized layers. And we'll leave on preserve accuracy, because if we do preserve editability, then my what are they called? Generative effects. Those are not going to get... we need those to kind of get rasterized to some extent in order for this whole thing to work. And yeah, we're just going to delete the old Omammer PSD, overwrite it, whatever you want to call it. And let's try this again. So now you can see there's a subfolder in here. And we're just going to come in here, do the same thing we did before, set all of these to have their clipping ID be set to the fill. And now it looks right. Okay. I wonder if I can do these all at once, or if it's gonna... No, that looks about right. I do have a little concern about... I'm gonna... It's probably fine, but I don't know. If it's not, then let me explain what I'm worried about here. So, oh, right. So basically, this bottom layer of sludge, this one right here, nope, that's the top one. They're stacked in reverse, apparently. But this bottom one right here, it extends kind of far past the base of the model compared to the other ones. So my fear is that when I put a deformer on the body here, and what that's going to look like is it's going to... One moment, let me select the right thing here. Just body fill. And let me go ahead and give him the correct mesh. Now, if I hit this warp deformer, then I get this kind of thing. And so we can actually test this real quick to see what happens here. Not super worried about the... So for this warp deformer to be correct, I actually need to set all of these things to also be part of warp deformer of body. So now when I select this, I think they don't move together. Great. Why are these not warping at the same rate when they are... They're the same shape. The body's warping correctly. That was my primary concern. The body is warping correctly, but for some reason now... Oh, I bet I know why. Yep, you're still a cube. Wait. Okay, so the whole thing is here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I should be able to come into manual mesh editor, select all these, Control C, then come up to the stroke, go into manual mesh editor, Control A, delete, and then Control V. Now they warp at the same rates. Perfect. Beautiful. Look at that. That's what we want to see. But for some reason, the bottom line disappears. I guess it doesn't matter so much because we're never going to see it, but it's kind of weird that it keeps happening. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, no one's gonna... The way my model is sitting right now is the way it's probably always gonna be sitting. So it really doesn't matter who, like, what's on the bottom. So that's weird, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. Now, let's see, what's next? Probably the eyes are going to be the simplest thing to take care of. So, every software has a just slightly different thing for navigating the environment. Standard should be fine for the eyes. They're not going to get warped all that much. If I'm doing anything, it'll be deformation little, but I think standard's fine. And again, just because of what happened with the other thing, we're gonna come in here, Control A, copy. Then on the outline, delete what it's got, paste. And for some weird reason, I'm sure it makes sense from a money-making perspective. The only reason I'm able to do the copying pasting is because I'm on the free pro trial. Like, if you're just using the free version of Live2D, you can't do that. So if you only ever intend to make one model, make it on the pro trial. And if you plan to do this professionally, just get the damn monthly payment. It's gonna suck, but it's better than having to completely re-rig things from scratch over and over again. That's not what I meant to hit. Like, this would be fairly simple because it's just a standard thing, right? But, like, if I was... y'all saw what happened when I tried to do the deformation thing on the outline of the body, because it was a more complex shape. The standard one's going to be this no matter what, just kind of roughly applied to the outline of your shape. I actually think, I could be wrong, but yeah, no, it's... Wait, how does the base one look? I'm not sure that that's the same, actually. Yeah, nope, they're different. I don't want that, so... Again, we're gonna take the base one. Whoops. R base. Go into auto. Why isn't... Oh, my bad. Manual. I meant manual, not auto. Now I go into the outline here. Oops. Delete. And paste. It's important that you delete the old points, because if you don't, they won't be deleted. They will still exist, and they will just get thrown in here with this mess. So now, this is the important thing. They have the exact same deform, so that when we modify them, they will go together. And these, honestly, are probably fine as squares. Or as rectangles. It's a rectangular shape to begin with, so, like, who cares? So let's take these things, and we're going to set the clipping ID to L base. And there they go. They're gone. Goodbye. Everyone say goodbye to the pieces. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other eye. Clipping ID, R base. Whoops. I meant R base, not L base. There we go. And we don't need this background, so we'll turn it off. So, something that I'm kind of debating is, we have the ability to do some stuff here. And I'm not sure whether or not I want to do it. For clarity, what I am talking about is that these tentacles, they might look better when it's all said and done if they are rigged with physics in mind. But if I rig them with physics in mind, we lose this kind of thing, because I edited that manually. But I also kind of think that maybe rigging the tentacles with physics would look better in the long run. We might not get this all worked out today. That's fine, though. We're going to do as much as we can. If it comes down to physics, though, I'm going to need to spend some time watching some YouTube tutorials. Let's see. How should I rig these? I might need to do them manually, but let's see what the... I kind of feel like heavy deformation is going to be necessary for these. I don't remember what I did before, but I just know... Especially if we do physics, these are going to be a thing that requires a lot of work, basically. And it's either I give them the heavy deformation preset, or I manually come in here and map all this myself. And I don't feel like doing that, so... we'll give it heavy. These now have higher poly density than the entire body, even with the... look how spread out that is versus the exact same for these. Actually, you know what? I can actually come in here and... okay, so turning it up increases the density. That's too much. The software hates that. But maybe we don't need quite so many points on the inside. Let's give us a little wiggle room on the outside here. That's probably good. So 30, 32, 2, 2. That looks pretty good. And then for these, they're not going to be as complex. I could probably get away with giving all of them the light deformation thing. Let's turn down the outer boundary margin though. Say 4. That's pretty good. I think that'll be fine. So, I had some different rigging for all of these things previously. Trying to decide where to start with the rigging. I kind of think the best thing to do is going to be get the facial details kind of settled, more or less. So we're going to need those deformers first. So the nice thing about this is if you have a background in Photoshop or in motion graphics, or even just 3D animation, like me, we all know I have experience in Moho. Not much, but like enough. Sorry, losing my train of thought here. Been a while since I've had to give this much of an attention span to a project. Why am I not? There we go. Look into his hollow and empty eyes in despair. It's okay, we'll fill them with life here soon enough. He's right behind me, isn't he? So, let's see. I think, let's do our blinking first. That's going to be fairly simple. And then after that, we'll kind of go broad strokes. Although, once we go broad strokes, we're going to have to go back and fix some things when we get into the nitty-gritty. But that's fine. Something that I've considered doing, although I haven't really planned it out very well, is I haven't planned on how I would do this, but like sorry, I'm trying to pull up an image to demonstrate what I mean. Open image in new tab. There we go. Okay, so when we're talking about rigging and whatnot, a common thing that will happen with this kind of thing, this is how Live2D works, is we use the Japanese vowels. So we've got A, E, O, U, and then this is just This would be your sounds, your closed mouth. And then it also has like a deformer for smiling, which is basically just the mouth, which is even wider. I would need to double check like the positionings on that, but that's fine. Point being that right now my mouth is just rigged to open and close. But it might be possible to make it look better. Again, this would be irrelevant if we end up using physics, but physics might be the way to go. What was I saying? Right. Basically, I'm trying to decide, so we're probably not going to get this fully done this stream, but, I mean, I can at the very least get the mouth opening and closing again, probably. We've got, what, 3 hours left? Something like that. But sorry, I'm kind of out of it today. I don't know what's up. But something to consider, I guess, is that instead of just like having a mouth that just opens and closes when I speak to various degrees, is that maybe it can, vocalize certain letters. You know what I mean? You couldn't see that, but when I was just sitting there quietly with my mouth opening and closing a moment ago, I was trying to mimic the mouth shapes here. Excuse me. That was a yawn. But anyway, yeah, I think the thing that I most wanna do right now, because I didn't get to do it right before, well, I probably could have, but I didn't know that it was gonna look terrible. Is I want to focus on the eyes. So eyes open. And I don't know how I would do these eyes as smiling. Maybe they narrow a little bit. Whatever. Well, let me see if I can just pull up a picture here of what... I might have to look up some tutorials either off screen or between streams. But for now, I know we can do a basic open and close with this. So basically what's going to need to happen is, let's come in here to the left eye. It's this one, right? Yep. And we're going to select all of this stuff because it's all going to be involved. And we're going to create parameters. Wait, no. What is it we do? Add the... Yeah, that's right. We're adding keyframes. So I'm going to add 3. Because what I think happened before that made this look like crap when I tried doing it is the eyes would start to close before, like I was explaining before. On your average human being, your eyes are not actually open all the way all the time, because that would be crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. I'm kidding. But yeah, no one has their eyes open that wide all the time in real life. I am a cartoon pile of sludge, so I do. But when what we need to happen is, I think what I'm going to try for at least is I want to have these keyframes be so when my eyes are more than 50% open in real life, then nothing is shown on screen. So that's why we have this middle frame, this middle keyframe here. All of these are at their default values. So what we need to do now is when we're at point zero, which means my eye would be 0% open, we need to now take our these things, and I'm going to on each of them individually create a deformer. I'm not going to move them manually because that's going to give me problems down the road. I have no idea what... Let me restart. This is... And then we don't need to... It can literally just be the one. Because it's deforming a rectangle, so we don't care. And that, so basically, we're going to create these little warps, these warp deformers that don't really have any warping capacity. Right, so now we've got these, and now whenever we want to manipulate the eyelids, we don't manipulate the little JPEG here. What we're going to manipulate is the warp. And then I'm going to create one more that's going to encompass the base, the pupil, and the outline here. So we need to make sure that... Yep, okay. So these are tied to this one as well. Oh, crap. I need to... One moment. Let me save here. Alright, so we have OMAMR modified saved now. Let me go back and reopen the original. Look inside my guts real quick. Yeah, I know about the trial license. It's fine. I'm gonna be okay on the free version, probably. Huh, Cottontail's life. So anyway, where's my eye? So this one is actually fairly complex. Trying to... What is this? 3 by 3 it looks like. Wait, is this what this is? So if I say 1 there. Okay. So no, it's 5 by 5 and 2 by 2. I'm just gonna minimize that actually. We might need it again. So let's try this again. Select all of these. Two, 5, 5. Yep, there we go. Now it looks like the other one. That's kind of what we want. Now you can kind of see that if we mess with this, it messes with the eye. So these warps, I guess, also need to be keyed, don't they? Alright. We can get kind of silly with this if we really wanted to. Right now I don't, though, so... Like I said, the idea here is basically... we want to have... we need to make sure that these have keyframes as well. So at 0.5, everything is going to be open. When we get down to 0, though, we want these to be moved into place. Can I do that? Thank you. Actually, before we do that, let's come back here and just shrink this to roughly the shape of a circle. About like that. I know, it looks wrong. It's okay, though. It's just a little bit of a stretch. And now that we have that about the size we want it, we can come back in here. Let's grab this one now. It's about as far as we want those to go. So we're going to need to drag these up a little. There we go. And that's about what my eye is supposed to look like when it's closed. can wink now. I don't actually know. I assume NVIDIA Broadcast can track winking. Let's see real quick. Here he is. Kinda. Not very well. Where did everything go? Whatever, let's get that horrible face out of here. I don't actually look like that in real life, do I? Wait, which one is this? This is the old Omammer. We don't need him. This is the new and improved Omammer. You can't tell the difference, you say? Well, that's because they are both dead puppets right now. You have to wait until I breathe life into them with my life force. Normally I'd have the professor do this for me, but he's not here anymore. We don't know what happened to him. In fact, I would appreciate it if you stopped bringing it up. Going back to making these as simplistic as possible. But for the outline, pupil, and base, whoops, we want this to be 5 again. Give us all those points manipulation, because we'll use them later. Also, I just realized I've made a mistake. These technically need to be on their own deformer. That's fine. We can do that real quick. And then we're going to make this a child of that so that this should still work. Yeah, that looks right. Actually, wait, I'm going to hide these real quick. That way we can see, yes, the pupil is shrinking. That's what I wanted to see. So the good news is that if we make a mistake and something that needs to be on its own warp, the good news is that it's not too hard to just like apply the old, like the new warp as a child of the old one. So like when we make a rotator here in a minute to manipulate the entire face, we're just gonna grab these warps that we've made for this. These will be on what are they called? They're gonna be on these deform path editor things. So they're not gonna work quite the same. Like if I come in here and just... How do I generate that again? All right, anyway. I've got the wrong tool selected. Where's just the... There you are, regular selection tool. I'm gonna have to remember how to do what I thought I was doing a minute ago on the these things. Because it didn't seem like I was actually doing it. And these might just have to be a mesh warp thing. It's going to be tricky to set up, but I think I can do it. It might look better that way, actually. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we've got all this stuff set up here for we already made our animation on this side, right? So rather than reinvent the wheel, let's come in here, grab all of our deformers, you are on the, yeah. Grab all of our deformers and put them on a keyframe set inside of IR open. Now, rather than reinvent the wheel, I should be able to copy this effect. I just have to remember how to do it. So for starters, we need to whoops, undo that. Oh, okay. So I don't think I can do that on it's a lip sync thing. See, is it horizontal or vertical? Right? Oops. No, that's not what I need. Where's the... Okay, I think it's just going to be faster if I do this manually. You are just getting in the way at the moment, I think. Let's do this on the grid. That'll make this easier, I think. Huh. Okay, I think I know what I'm working towards here. This is kind of on this line right here. So if I can get this one, there we go. I almost always have a cough, and when the cough arrives, it is always a toss-up on whether it's dehydration or allergies. I mean, it's always allergies, but like whether or not like drinking water will help is a toss-up. But basically every health problem I have, I think I can tie back to the fact that Alright, so that's on the line. Actually, you're not quite on the line. We're gonna put you on the line. Now I need to actually fix that just a little bit. One moment. Let's fix this so that these line up along this line right here. There we go. It's small, but I'll know. Besides, if you wanted me to rig you a professional model, you would want me to rig it on the lines as well. I think you'd probably want a better job than this, all things considered. Probably. Like, there's so much stuff that I didn't do for this that, like, if you handed me the reference sheet that I worked off of to make this, or the work that I did to prepare this for rigging, if you handed me this, I'd be like, you know the end result is gonna suck, right? And like, we're gonna do the best we can with this, but like, you know, this is a personal project. I'm not like too super worried about the end result. But like, if I was gonna be worried about the end result, there we go. We did it. The eyes will open and close now. And it actually looks pretty good. It's gonna be just you know, a matter of time before we know if it's gonna look good long term, but you know, I take my wins. Besides, this is a much, I hesitate, excuse me, I hesitate to say cleaner file, but like a much much more prepared file, maybe, is the way to think of it. But like, I would not like consider this like good work for you know, a professional rig. If I was gonna do that, there's like, I'll have to do it at some point just to show you, because it would be like a weeks long process to do a real VTuber rig, potentially. Let's see. I guess now that we got that done, the next thing to do would be, the next thing that I know we're going to use is we're going to link the eyeballs X and Y. I guess I didn't have anything selected there. But basically for this, all I'm gonna do is take my pupil deformers. Nope, that's the pupils themselves. Ignore the discrepancy between these two. Wait, actually, you know what? Let's not ignore the discrepancy. This is 5x5 and 2x2. This is 2x2 and 5x5. That's better. I must have messed that up at some point. Whatever. That looks better. As long as the blinking motion didn't break, then it doesn't look like it did. We didn't do anything complex here, so that's fine. Anyway, let's come back to our pupil warps here, and we're going to, on our eyeball X first, let's add 3 keyframes. On our eyeball Y, we're going to add 3 keyframes, and then we're going to link eyeball X and eyeball Y. And now I've got to remember which way is which. One moment. I'm going to go look up a video. What am I looking for? Live2D. Maybe I can get an image reference here. No, okay, we're gonna have to watch the video. That's unfortunate. Hopefully you guys don't hear the video. I don't think you will, because it's rigged. I've got my OBS set up like super cool. I'll have to explain exactly how I have this whole thing set up at some point. It's real cool though. Basically on my stream track, everything's there. Then I've got all 5 of the backup tracks for my recording. So on that's probably not good. On line 1, we've got what was that supposed to be? There it is. On line 1, we've got that's the stream track. Line 2, that's just my microphone. Line 3, that's going to be the desktop gameplay, whatever. Line 4, that's my sound alerts or Twitch alerts. Line 5, that's Discord. So if I'm ever in a Discord call with someone, they get their own bespoke line. And also, if we're recording in my Discord chat, then I can, or on my server, for the Badger Tribe server, then I can actually use Craig to make sure that everyone on there has an individual audio file that I can edit without like needing to download and synchronize their VOD, which is super helpful. And then finally, we have the music track on track 6. So I make full use of the fact that OBS gives me multiple tracks for video recording. And I record all of my own video. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to look up pupil stuff. I've got a video here. Hopefully it will help me enough. And then we can get back to whatever. Meshes for heavy transformation. Deform path edit tool. Now that's just for okay, all of the videos that I'm seeing are talking about like blinking, but like They taught, literally, that's lesson 1 if you follow Live2D's tutorial system. So let's see. Rigging. Eyeball XY. This video actually has an eyeball XY. Holy crap, let's go. It's buried deep in the files. It's like near the end of the video. Okay, so that's what I was hoping for, basically. Right is right and left is left. So 1. Take both the pupils, and we can just drag them to the right. You know, I could have just checked my old model, couldn't I? Yeah, you can kind of see. This is how it's going to look when it's done. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just going to do exactly what we did before. Except I don't actually have to do all the work myself. All I've got to do is get the main things, the left, right, up, and down. I rig those myself, and then I can get the software to do the corners for me. So we got 1. Let's go -1 now. And we'll drag these. The left, just very simple. Now for up, we go up. And I'm holding down the shift key to keep these from like swaying left and right while I'm doing that. And then -1, click, shift, move down. There we go. Now I'm looking down. I know they say that you shouldn't look down, but they're not my dad. Also, bringing up my dad is kind of insensitive. I've told you that the professor went away forever ago. He'll come back to bring me to the ocean one day, though. Anyway, so now we've got this. Let's go up here. Parameter, where is it? Is it... I saw it a minute ago, so... Wait, I know where it is. 1 second, I still need that. let's see. Let's come in here and oh, it's already selected. Okay. So it was up here. Deformer. Texture. No. Parameter. Synthesize corners. Now, if this worked correctly, yep, we've got corner movement. Heck yeah. I didn't even have to do that myself. All right, well, it's basically 8 o'clock. I didn't eat dinner before I started. So, I think I should probably go at least grab a snack. So, what do you think? 10-minute break? Sounds good. Don't worry, I'll turn the music back up. We'll be back in just a second. And then we can get to work on something a little more complicated, maybe.
NANI?! Is art!
Where's... Nope. Turn down. There we go. Alright, we're back. What's up, James? You're in a race? Okay. I'm in, surgery. So far, I have completed eyeball surgery. So they'll move left, right, up, down, all that. And they can blink. That's right, I can blink now. Technically, I could before, it just looked terrible. So, I redid it, along with everything else, of course. Let's recenter it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Alright. Anyway. So we need to... We're not going to worry about the brows. I don't have brows. So actually, I think I can just, like, delete these. Because I don't have brows. And then, let's see. Mouth is its own thing. I don't have cheeks. I don't have hair even. So I think I need to have a better concept of what this is supposed to look like here. So, oh, you had me muted? You had me muted and didn't even say lurk. Not that the lurk command even works. I still haven't got that set up correctly. Yeah. You gotta actually press that little unmute button sometimes. Let's see. Got another race? Okay. What are you playing, Mario Kart or something? I'm gonna look it up. Going on Switch Online on my phone. See what he's playing. If he's playing on the Switch, I don't actually know. Nah, this says he's offline. He must be playing Fortnite. Anyway, so let's see. What's next? I think maybe the mouth will be the easiest thing to do. So the way that I rigged the mouth originally back on this model is we have these kind of, there's a special kind of deformer that I think you use this tool here to set up. Yeah. So I don't know why it wasn't working on the other thing. But basically once you have it in place, you can then manipulate these points. Hypothetically. Oh, it's because I've got the wrong thing selected. Why is this not working? That's weird. But anyway, so you can kind of see here how this is rigged, and this is how my mouth works. Is I use these points, which for some reason aren't working right now. Nope, that's not it. Huh. Fortnite racing. Okay, I got it right. But, it's like something else that this model does. Is, there it is. Y'all know how I do this. We love this. This is everyone's favorite thing to do with my character. Anyway, we but anyway, yeah, next we need to kind of replicate this sort of motion. Actually, no, this isn't really the next step, but the point is, like, let's watch what's happening here. You can kind of see this thing is rotating, and that is just kind of controlling the face. If I had done a better job, then it would also move, like, probably a little bit, like, physically move. Like, if I come in here and just have this selected, I can actually move this, and it affects the whole face. So that's what we need to recreate next over here. That rotator tool is basically the exact same as... It's the exact same thing as like a bone tool in Anime Studio or Moho or I really need to learn Synfig. I feel like Synfig one moment, I can't remember if I've showed this on stream before or not. It's a piece of freeware, but it's animation software. Basically. And like part of what I paid all the money I did for Moho for is like, why do we leave the site? I'm trying to, where's the features? Here we go. So we got vectors, layers, filters, bones, advanced controls. The only thing I don't know if it does that I know Moho does is I don't know what its mesh deforming tools look like. But yeah, I think I need to learn this because it's gonna... I don't know that it's better. It might not be any better or any different even. And that would be a disappointment, but like... it just seems like a thing I should learn. This is the Omamer modified, yes. I'm gonna go ahead and save this as it is right now. Don't want to lose any progress there. Excuse me. But anyway, so yeah, we need to now recreate...
is art!
recreate the motions. And that is, let's see, body, deformer. No, that's this one. I think I must have turned this off in VTube Studio, although I don't remember why I would have done that. That's probably why. That looks like crap. Anyway, actually, can I turn it back on? Like, if I turned it off, I would assume I can set it back, right? Face left and right rotation is there. It's just not working for whatever reason. Wait, wrong thing. Alright, I don't see how I might have disabled that in here. Because it looks like it's still there. Is it a thing with the... Nope. Nothing to do with this. Whatever. Point is, now I know that I deleted the angle Y because that did look like crap. There was nothing that looked good about that, but maybe we can make it look good this time. We'll see. But like you can see here that I had two separate body deforms, one for the X and Y rotation and one for the head tilt. So we're gonna do probably something similar here. It would be nice, at least, if I could make it look good enough to use all the features again. Not have whatever's happening here happen again. But basically, these are all set to rotate about 30 degrees. So yeah, that's the idea. Like, what I need to look up, I think, is I don't really have a good solid reference for exactly how far 30 degrees is. Here, this is someone's YouTube thumbnail. It's a decent starting point, I think. So I don't know if it's quite like the 3/4 view, if that's what it's supposed to be, but it might be the best approximation I can get. What the heck? So that's about how far we'd need to rotate for 30 degrees. The head tilt I think is about right. Well, let's start with the Z rotation because we know that we're doing that one. So let's zero these out. This is the head tilt one. So let's watch how it works here, because it's going to be kind of the same concept that we need to follow, right? What's happening is when one side comes up, the this top corner goes out, this bottom corner goes, the top corner goes up and out a little bit, the bottom corner goes in, this the middle part folds inward, and this part sticks out a little bit. See what I mean? Kind of ish, maybe a little bit. So this is how I'm currently rigged, and I think this is mostly good. I think I could probably do a bit better of a job on keeping the placement of the eyes and whatnot centered. So I think first and foremost, let's go ahead and put everything in these folders on a rotator. Something has gone wrong. It might be that I can't add folders as children of deformers, so I'm going to have to come in here to each of these individually and add them to this rotator. Then in here we have a base deformer, so we're going to add this, whoops, to that face deformer. Then we're going to do the same thing with the right eye. Grab the base warp tool here and drag it into the face rotation. So now, when I come back up here to this, it's going to move what have I forgotten to do? You should not be at the root. You should be children of the eye. Unless that, wait, does that mess up the No, it doesn't mess that up at all. That's fine. All right. So let's come back up here and try this again. That's better. That's what we want to see. Now we're going to put this and body Z. And we're going to put both of these on the angle Z keyform. So I think the easiest thing to do is going to be to start with the body, and then we can worry about placing the head, right? Although this is going to be fair. This will be helpful, actually. So let's go -30, and we're going to rotate this to -30. That'll be, well, not great, but it'll be a helpful reference point to see how far the body should move, right? So then up here for this one, we're going to say 30. And now when the body is in position with the head, or in, this is how far the body should rotate, right? Right. We all understand what I mean. I'm a great communicator. Let's see. I'm going to have this pulled up as a reference. So, apologies, but I might... Well, I should still be able to read chat, I guess. I'm pulling up my my old work so that I can kind of see where things landed with it. Because I'm actually kind of happy with how the body moves. So I don't want to mess that up too much, right? Ignore the fact that the tentacles aren't moving correctly yet. So it's kind of close. Nah, we need to go further. That's more like it. They should probably be tucked in just a little bit, like that maybe. What if we hide the face? No. It's pretty close. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. Actually, this should... Here, let me get out of your way. One moment. Sorry. There we go. Now I'm out of your way. That's pretty close, right? Let's put these at the same zoom percentage. I know part of what the... That's pretty good. Can I come back now? Doesn't matter, I'm coming back anyway. That's about where I was, right? It's fine. I still feel like maybe the head looks too thin on this one. That might be a bit better. Is it just me, or is the color brighter on this one? Am I going crazy here? I might be. Well, that's comforting. Well, I don't know exactly how much of the, like, color fidelity of my personal computer screen is being transferred to Twitch. It's not that there's anything wrong, it's just that it looks... the old one looks a little brighter. Although it could just be that this mesh overlay is making this look darker. I don't know. I'm turning the face back on. This is too disturbing without it. Oh, I forgot I can manipulate the individual points of this too. That looks pretty good, I think. Now let's put the face in position and see what we think then. Actually, I don't think it's bending enough. I don't think the body's bending enough. That's better, maybe. No, it still seems like the head is turning at a harsher angle than the body. Ignore that for now. Okay, part of it is I think the face needs to come this way a little more. Okay, that's better, but I still think this needs to... Maybe it's the inside that needs to move. If this comes up, no. Starting at basically 0. Yeah, I think this bends with the body a bit better. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we've got this body Z thing, and we got our face rotator. And what we're going to do, now that we got those selected, is we're going to come up here to... where is it? Reflect motion. Let's start with just the body. Modeling, deform, no, was it parameter, reflect motion. Reflect horizontally. I've made a mistake. Alright, let's try this again. Now that I want to make some changes to it, but oh yeah, did you saw the Sonic 3 trailer, right? What do you think? I know I said this in the group chat earlier. I'm kind of disappointed in Keanu Reeves. Like it's good. It's good. It's gonna be an okay movie, I think. But I'm kind of disappointed that Keanu Reeves is just doing Keanu Reeves. Like Ben Schwartz was not, he didn't start as a voice actor, but he's done some voice acting, right? Especially for Nickelodeon. So like he knew to do a character voice. He didn't just go out there and do Ben Schwartz. He did a Sonic impression, right? He knew how to do a character voice. Colleen O'Shaughnessy obviously has done Tales for years. She went out there, did a great Tale. She's actually a professional voiceover artist. That's her thing. But like Idris Elba, him being cast as Knuckles meant they were just going a completely different direction with the character to begin with, voice-wise. I understood that. But Keanu Reeves could do a Shadow the Hedgehog, but he went out there and he gave the exact same performance for Shadow the Hedgehog that he gave for Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk. And that's just kind of disappointing to me. All right. Anyway, let's finish this. We're almost done here. I think I'm going to need to come through and make some changes to these on an individual level now. We've got a good foundation here, so I just want to come in and tweak some things so that it doesn't look as garbage. Kind of want this to come out more, but I don't want you to come out more, so there we go. And this looks weird. Yeah, I think like overall, the movie looks interesting. It's a fun place to start us with, like, I'm afraid that they're going to. What I'm afraid is going to happen is that, like, they've got Eggman at a low point in this movie, right? Like, he's coming back into the game, like, presenting like he's gonna help Sonic and Knuckles and Tails to take down Shadow the Hedgehog, right? But there's a problem with that, which is that we know at the end of Sonic 2, Eggman was looking into Shadow. Or at least he was looking into Project Shadow. He could have easily just been looking for information on, crap, what's his name? Gerald. He could have been looking for information on Gerald Robotnik, right? Who, interestingly enough, also played by by Jim Carrey. That's gonna be fun. Like, genuinely, I think Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman is what makes, like, the whole Sonic the Hedgehog, like, live action thing work. It's like someone in our group chat earlier said that there's a rumor that this is gonna be Jim Carrey's last movie, or that he's done acting. And I really hope that's not true, especially if they intend to keep making Sonic movies. Because, like, he is these movies. Like, he's the draw. You know what I mean? Like, they can't just recast the Sonic franchise's main villain. How are we doing on time? What else can I do this stream? Probably. I keep going back and forth on this. Ha, get it? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I'm funny. But no, I mean, like, going back and forth on whether it looks good to have the... I'm just not sure if I like the way the forehead sticks out here. It's probably fine. Although, now I think it sticks out too far on this side. Did it undo my... Maybe not. It's probably fine. Let's see, what else can I get done on stream tonight? Okay, I guess on the other screen these do look like the same color, so it must be my imagination. Okay, so I know you were muted when I was talking before the break. Or I actually don't know when you got here, so... Basically what I was saying before the break is, like, the tentacles I'm not sure I can actually animate tonight. Around 7. But again, if you were muted that whole time, you probably didn't hear what I was talking about around that time. So, like, the tentacles, basically, to recap, I am kind of going back and forth on a couple different ways that I could do them. Long story short, since I actually have access to the free trial for the pro version, long story short, I have access to the to Live2D's physics engine. So, it might be possible, after following some tutorials at least, that I can rig the tentacles up with physics. The trade-off will be that I don't get, like, this handcrafted movement. Oh, okay. That's... anyway. But just a quick recap. Basically, I would lose this handcrafted movement that I have right now when I tilt my head. I would lose that with these tentacles. So especially if I'm going to have you know, actual left and right head movement. I don't really care about up and down so much. I don't think there's a way to make that look good with this model, but I might be able to make left and right head movement look good, especially if the tentacles are on physics instead of handcrafted animation. So basically what that would mean is, like, I would rig the mouth to open using the physics, but, like, handcrafted open the mouth, but, like, use physics to close them. So, like, when I'm done talking, right now they just kind of snap back into place. You see what I mean? But, like, if I do it with physics, then when I stop emoting, the idea would be that they would just kind of fall and maybe sway a little bit. And then same thing with the mustache. the big old white beard handlebar mustache. Yeah, if you didn't know, one moment. This was my mustache model. White beard from One Piece. I really need to catch up on One Piece, but Toei's got to do something about their pacing, man. But yeah, so, like, if I get my head turning so that it looks good when I turn my head left and right, and that way it's not just... I've got a good tilt right now. For some reason, the left and right head turn isn't working, but I have it rigged in here. Here, let me turn stuff back on and I'll show you. So this is me as I am now, except for whatever reason certain stuff is working suboptimally. So I have left and right head movement. That's rigged, but for whatever reason right now VTube Studio is not using it, and I'm not sure why, because it looks like it should be rigged to use it. But you can't really see that it's working. It should be a parameter near the top of the list called, what is it? Angle face left right rotation, which appears to be working. But it barely shows up on the model. So yeah, seriously, who has time to watch all of One Piece anymore? If I wanted to catch up, I think it would be more worth my time to read the manga from the point that I left off, which would have been right after they left Zoe Island, the big elephant thing, and just read up to the point where they're at in the anime now, where Toei is back to making one chapter per episode. Whereas it used to be, what, 0.2 chapters per episode? With half the episode being recap. Like, I think it would literally be more worth my time to do that. Anyway, yeah, without messing with the tentacles, I'm not sure there's anything else I can do tonight. And I've got to look up some stuff in order to do the tentacles, I think. Ooh, hey, okay. I think, yeah, let's call it tonight. You know who just went live? We could go watch Luna Pazio again. You remember her? She was the one who tricked me in the past, thinking that we were gonna go watch Ocarina of Time, but it was it was Stardew Valley. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'll give you an option. I believe I also saw someone else that I was following just went live. Where is he? Is he already done? Jesus Christ. You're gonna raid and dip no matter what? Okay. Understandable. After all that Fortnite racing. Let's see. You're okay with going with Luna? Oh, no, he is live. Okay. This guy has way less viewers. I think he'll appreciate the raid. Also, he's playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is more interesting to me, at least, than Stardew Valley. So, yeah, let's go ahead and I'm going to prepare to raid him. Y'all know the raid phrase, right? Go ahead and copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. This guy's name's Wolf the Bard. Yep, good night. Thank you for watching. I'll see you Saturday, hopefully. And we're so close to finishing Dragon Age Origins. We'll finish it for sure this weekend. Not the DLC, but like the main campaign. You know what I mean. Let's go. Goodbye.